the sequence of using cognitive apprenticeship model in the classroom is modeling, coaching, scaffolding, articulation, reflection, and exploration. Modeling, coaching, scaffolding, articulation, reflection, and exploration. Cognitive apprenticeship model. The cognitive apprenticeship model is made up of several key components or stages, which are modeling, coaching, scaffolding, articulation, reflection, and exploration. These stages are meant to support learners as they gradually acquire the knowledge and skills of the community or of practice. Here is a brief explanation of each stage in the sequence of using cognitive apprenticeship model in the classroom. Modeling. In this stage, the teacher or expert demonstrates a particular skill or concept for the learner. This could be through lectures, videos, or live demonstrations. The purpose of this stage is to provide a clear and concrete example of what the learner should be able to understand. Coaching. After the modeling stage, the teacher provides individualized support and guidance to the learners. This could be through one-on-one coaching sessions, feedback on assignments or tasks, or personalized instruction. The purpose of this stage is to help the learner develop their skills and understanding. Scaffolding now. In this stage, the teacher provides structured support to the learner to help them gradually build their skills and understanding. This could be through breaking down tasks into smaller, more manageable steps or providing prompts or cues to guide the learner's thinking. So that's scaffolding. Breaking down tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. The purpose of this stage is to help the learner develop their skills and understanding in a structured and supported way. Articulation now. In this stage, the learner is encouraged to explain their thinking and reasoning. So basically, talking back what you have learned. Now, this could be through group discussions, presentations, or written reflections. The purpose of this stage is to help the learner develop their ability to articulate their thinking and reasoning, which is the key skill in community of practice. Now, reflection. In this stage, the learner is encouraged to reflect on their learning experiences. This could be through self-assessment, peer assessment, or feedback from the teacher. The purpose of this stage is to help the learner to develop their ability to reflect on their learning and identify areas for improvement. Now, exploration. In this stage, the learner is encouraged to apply their learning in new and unfamiliar contexts. This could be through project-based learning, case studies, or simulations. The purpose of this stage is to help the learner develop their ability to apply their learning in real-world situations and to develop their expertise in the community of practice. Thus, the sequence of using cognitive apprenticeship model in the classroom is designed to provide learners with structured. The sequence is modeling, coaching, scaffolding, articulation, reflection, and exploration. Right? Exploration through project-based learning, case studies, and simulations. Reflection through self-assessment, peer assessment, and feedback from the teacher. Now, which of the following statement best describes formative evaluation in evaluation procedure? So, the teacher clarifies the doubts of the students in the class itself, in the class when you are teaching, while teaching is happening. That is the time when formative evaluation happens. Now, formative evaluation is focused on providing feedback that can be used to modify or adjust the learning experiences while it is still ongoing. One of the ways that teachers can conduct formative evaluation is by providing immediate feedback to the students during the class through answering questions and clarifying doubts. This helps students to stay on track and understand the material being taught. However, the formative evaluation can also involve a variety of other methods such as quizzes, observations, feedback, self assessments, peer assessments, and more. Goal is to provide ongoing feedback to the learner. Now, modeling, coaching, scaffolding, articulation, helping learner in starting and gradually fading the support. So that is associated with scaffolding. Then observing the performance of an expert or teacher or more experienced peer. That's modeling. And then giving words to their understanding of the process and content, and giving external support to the learner in form of hints, feedback, reminders. um, Modeling is done. Coaching coaching I think this is associated with coaching. Let's see. Okay, what happens in here in modeling? So observing the performance of an expert like teacher or more experienced peer, that's modeling, right? Observing the performance of an expert or a more experienced peer. The teacher demonstrates how to solve a math problem step by step, showing their thought process as they go. Now, coaching, giving external support to the learner in the form of hints, feedback, reminders, etc. So, giving external support is coaching. Okay. For example, the teacher provides guidance and feedback to the students as they work an art project, offering suggestions and support to help them improve their technique. That's coaching. And then is scaffolding. Scaffolding, helping learners in starting and gradually fading the support. So that is scaffolding, gradually fading the support. For example, the teacher breaks down a complex task such as writing an essay into a smaller, more manageable step and provides support and guidance at each stage. And then you have articulation. So, articulation is giving words to their understanding of the process and content. That is articulation. For example, the teacher asks the student to explain in their own words how they solved a problem or understand a concept, encouraging them to articulate their thought process and deepen their understanding. Now, the next, Akshay, an 8-year-old boy, was emotionally stable and performed well in school. His parents have divorced recently. Due to this, he has become a very anxious child. What can Akshay's teacher do to help alleviate his anxiety in the classroom? Well, his teacher could provide structure, organization, tools, and choices to help alleviate his anxiety. Choices, organizational tools, and structure. But what I would have done is I would have, I could tell the other children that Akshay is anxious and that they must be extra nice to him. That's what I would have done. So Akshay's teacher can help alleviate his anxiety in the classroom by providing structure, organizational tools, and choices. Providing a structured routine, establishing a predictable routine in the classroom can help reduce anxiety for students like Akshay who may be struggling with changes in their home life. This can include having a set schedule for activities and transitions throughout the day. Offering organizational tools, providing Akshay with tools like a planner or checklist can help him feel more organized and in control of his environment. This can also help him stay on track with assignments and deadlines. giving choices. Providing Akshay with choices in the classroom can help him feel more empowered and in control of his learning. This can include offering choices in how he completes an assignment or how he engages with a lesson. Now, which of the following are the key elements of cooperative learning? So, A and C. Cooperative learning. So, the key elements are groups consisting of high, average, and low achievers are heterogeneous. That's cooperative learning. The second, the students work in groups to master academic materials. That is cooperative learning. Not students are mostly passive. Not reward system is individually oriented. Neither students receive information transmitted only from the teachers. Okay. A brief explanation of each key element of cooperative learning. Heterogeneous groups with different abilities, individuals with different abilities, active participation, discussions, problem solving tasks rather than being passive learners, working together, collaborative, and group oriented rewards given to a group as a whole rather than to individuals, multiple sources of information, a variety of sources including teachers and peers helping to promote a diversity of perspectives and approaches to learning. Now, the next, the approach of accepting knowledge because people have agreed upon following a reasonable argument is known as a priori or ad populum, I believe. The approach of accepting knowledge because people have agreed upon followed a reasonable argument is known as a priori. This means that knowledge is accepted based on logical deduction or prior reasoning rather than empirical evidence or experience. In other words, a priori knowledge is considered to be true or valid without the need for further observation or testing. This approach is often contrasted with posteriori, which involves knowledge gained through experience or empirical evidence. Additional information, deductive reasoning. This is an a priori approach where knowledge is accepted based on logical deduction or reasoning. It involves starting with a general theory or hypothesis and then testing it with specific observations or data to see if it is supported. Inductive reasoning. This is an posteriori approach where knowledge is accepted based on empirical evidence or observation. It involves collecting specific observations or data and then using them to develop a general theory or hypothesis. Both deductive and inductive reasoning have their strengths and weaknesses. They are often used in combination in research. Deductive reasoning is useful for testing existing theories and hypotheses, while inductive reasoning is useful for generating new theories and hypotheses. So, inductive reasoning is a posteriori approach. Deductive reasoning is a priori approach. Now, values assigned to nominal scale of measurement are arbitrary. To nominal scale are arbitrary. Nominal scale, arbitrary. Right? Nominal scales are used to categorize data into distinct groups or labels, but there is no inherent order or numerical relationship between the categories. The use of scientific research to promote one's own cause inappropriately is described as to promote one's own cause is described as junk science. Junk science. Research that is flawed, unreliable, or based on incomplete or biased data and is often used to support false or unscientific claims. Junk science can have serious consequences, particularly when it is used to make decisions or shape public policy. It can also undermine public trust in scientific research and lead to a general disregard for scientific evidence. Junk science can also refer to inappropriate use of scientific research to promote a particular agenda or belief, even if the research itself is sound. additional information. Improper science refers to research that is conducted using unethical or fraudulent methods. Routine science refers to science that is conducted using standard and established methods. Unscience refers to research that is conducted without adherence to scientific principles or using methods that lack scientific validity. That's unscience. They lack scientific validity. Improper science conducted using unethical or fraudulent methods. Now, which of the following are categories of participants in research? So, good participants, negative participants, faithful participants, apprehensive participants, but not traditional participants. Good participants willing to participate, negative participants uncooperative, unreliable, or disruptive during the study, faithful participants high level of engagement with the study, apprehensive participants may be anxious or concerned about the study procedures or outcomes and may require additional support or reassurance from the researchers. Traditional participants may have a strong cultural or social identity that influences their attitudes and behaviors during the study. Hence, traditional participants cannot be considered a participant category. Now, summative evaluation is also known as impact evaluation. The main types of evaluation include formative evaluation and summative evaluation. Formative evaluation, which is conducted during program implementation to improve and modify the program. Summative evaluation, which is conducted after program completion to determine the overall impact and effectiveness of the program. The process evaluation, which assesses the implementation and delivery of the program to ensure it is being carried out as intended. Now, other types of evaluations include impact evaluation, cost benefit evaluation, and needs assessment. Summative evaluation is an assessment process which is used to determine the effectiveness and impact of an overall program or intervention after it has been completed. It typically involves collecting data and analyzing the outcomes to make conclusions about the success of a program in achieving its goals. Summative evaluation is often used to inform decisions about the continuation, modification, or termination of the program. Therefore, summative evaluation is also known as impact evaluation as it assesses the overall impact or effect of the problem on the intended outcomes. Now, when media create pictures in the head, they act as agents of consonance. When media creates images or mental pictures in the minds of their audience, they act as agents of consonance. Consonance refers to the degree of agreement or consistency between a message and the existing beliefs, attitudes, and values of the audience. When media messages are consistent with the audience's pre-existing beliefs, attitudes, or values, they create a sense of harmony and reinforce these beliefs. This can result in the audience becoming more convinced of the message and less likely to challenge or question it. Now, Western concepts of communication are based on individualism. Western concepts of communication are often based on individualism, which emphasizes the importance of personal autonomy, self-expression, and individual achievement. In Western culture, communication is viewed as a tool for expressing oneself, making individual choices, and asserting personal interests. Western communication also places a high value on directness, clarity, and assertiveness in communication. As a result, communication in Western societies tends to be more explicit, goal-oriented, and individualistic. Values are emphasized over collective or communal values. This approach of communication can be contrasted with other cultures, such as those that emphasize collectivism, where communication is viewed more as a means of maintaining social harmony and preserving group relationships. Now, the three divisions of science identified by Charles Sanders Peirce are iconic, indexical, and symbolic. Icon, index, and symbol. right? C, D, and E. Charles Peirce, a renowned American philosopher and logician, developed a theory of semiotics, the study of signs and symbols, iconic signs that resemble their referent either physically or by convention. For example, a portrait of a person or a diagram of a machine is an iconic sign. Uh, the sign is a likeliness of its referent. These signs rely on resemblance, and the viewer recognizes the referent by relating the sign to a visual or mental image of the referent. Indexical signs, those signs that indicate a relationship or association with their referent rather than resembling them. So, indicates a relationship or association with referent. That's index. It does not merely resemble it, but shows the relationship and association with the referent. For example, smoke is an indexical sign of fire, and a pointing finger is an indexical sign of the object being pointed at. Now, symbolic signs, those signs that have an arbitrary or conventional relationship with the referent. Arbitrary or conventional. Indexical signs are those, symbolic, right? These signs have no inherent resemblance or relationship with their referent. For example, words, numbers, and traffic signals are symbolic signs. Now, high brow, middle brow, low brow, post brow. Those who want to escape daily from daily routine, they are low brow. Low brow, much sophisticated and have deeper understanding of the medium, that's high brow. Intellectual satisfaction oriented, middle brow, can distinguish between good and bad films, post brow. Let's see, highbrow. Highbrow films are intended for audiences who seek intellectual satisfaction from the films. Intellectual satisfaction from the films. So, highbrow, intellectual satisfaction oriented, is highbrow. Right? These films are often artistic and challenging and require a certain level of sophistication from the audience. And then you have middle brow. These can distinguish between good and bad films. Middle brow. These films are often entertaining and accessible but also have a degree of artistic merit. That's middle brow. And then you have low brow. Low brow films are targeted at audiences who want to escape from their daily routine and be entertained. These films are often light-hearted and do not require much thought or analysis from the audience. And then you have post-brow. Post-brow films may be more sophisticated and have a deeper understanding of the medium. These films are often challenge established conventions and require a critical eye from the audience. So, more sophisticated and deeper understanding. That's post-brow. Now, according to some experts, communication reflects the primary group affiliation of a person. That is true. Second, communication should be understood within the broader social structure and process. It should be understood within the broad social structure and process. That is also correct. According to some experts, communication reflects the primary group affiliation of a person. This statement suggests that a person's communication style and patterns reflect the primary groups to which they belong, such as family, friends, and cultural social communities. People learn communication styles and norms within their primary groups, and these patterns become a part of their identity. For example, a person who grew up in a culture that values indirect communication may have a hard time being direct in their communication style. Communication, therefore, is an extension of group identity and values. Communication should be understood within the broad social structure and process. This statement suggests that communication is not just an individual act, but it is shaped by broader social structures and processes. Communication occurs within specific contexts such as cultural, economic, and political environments. For example, in a hierarchical organization, communication may be more formal and follow a clear chain of command. Similarly, in different cultures, communication styles may differ significantly due to differing social structures and norms. Understanding these broader social structures and processes is important for understanding communication patterns and how they affect individual societies. Low bro, high bro,